Hey everyone, welcome to Soulfish. I am really glad you're here. It has finally become a little chilly here, I have to admit. We're suffering through Arctic temperatures, I think below 50 degrees. So bear with me, I have a hot cup of tea. So I'm going to share some of that with you today. This is really a video for today, for this time, for the rest of this month, for January. It's really a mid-month energy reading, and it's kind of like a pimple, you know what I'm saying? Like what it feels like is a lot of old stuff coming up in the same place it used to, and you thought, man, I had squeezed that stuff out of me already, and then there it is again with the head on it, right? That's what's going on. And it's been a theme, a repetitive theme, a growing theme, an aggressive theme. And what I mean by aggressive is you're going to see this energy for the rest of this month kind of build a little bit. And so ways to augment that is to be aware that a lot of stuff is going on right now that is triggering a lot of people consciously and unconsciously. So if you're watching this video with me, then you know, you're one of those folks who are more aware, who are trying to work on their stuff, try not to be, react to things, etc. That's a really cool thing, and I applaud and thank you for your work and all of that to help make all of this a better place. Because as you know, as you change yourself, everything else changes, and usually for the better. I'm assuming you're changing yourself for the better. So back to where we are in this energy thing, it's very much like stuff's coming to a head from the way past, from this old place, and that you have to address it. You have to face it. You're seeing it. It's not something, it's not, you can't just say, no, that's not a third eye growing on my face. Y'all are all not seeing that. You're seeing it. You can't get away from it. It even hurts a little bit, right? And that's what's going on here on the inside out. So what's happening is you're being triggered, okay? And then this is coming up in you, and it has to be resolved before this next story commences. And when I say resolved, I'm saying you have to squeeze this stuff out again. You have to find, why is it coming up again? If it's coming up again, it really hasn't been resolved, right? But it continually shows its face, and it's something that has to be looked at. So that's what's really going on right now. That's the energy. So when you think about it in those terms, and you think about when you witness people's interactions going on around you, so you're in traffic and you're driving, you're in a fast food, line or whatever, or you're just in the public in some way, and you're walking around, you're gonna see a lot of people react in this kind of aggressive way, this kind of like, wow, like what? Kind of this reactive kind of state, right? And it's because for them too, not just you, stuff's coming up for them. And sometimes it's too much to handle at one time. So when the other stimulus shows up, you lash out or whatever. But it's on you. It's really about your awareness, not theirs. We spend so much time. I know I do. I mean, you heard me talk about driving. Driving is tough. Driving's tough because I'm in a box. I'm in a box with all these other boxes, filled with people's stuff, and we're all like crammed in, and everybody. Half the people are upset that the other half of the people are in the way, and it's this whole and then everybody's daily pressures, and you're just like all kind of like in this flow together, feeling everybody's stuff wherever you're going. So driving's tough for me, but look, I'm an energy sensitive, so I know that. So I don't spend a lot of time. I try not to spend a lot of time in big box stores and things like that. I'm not a big consumer that way, but it's it's because it messes me up energetically, you know what I'm saying? So for you guys, what I want you to be thinking about right now is that when you're in these scenarios, because life has to get done, right? You are here physically on purpose. There is a reason for the physical manifestation. There is a reason why you are an individual, and you don't have a hive mind, at least you're not supposed to, right? So you're an individual. Being an individual matters. This idea that we're all one eliminates to me the importance of your individuality, my individuality, the need for that individuality, for the way it works, for what's supposed to happen here and what we're supposed to and how we're supposed to affect a change. So all of that is happening all the time, right? And so right now, specifically, we have cosmic stuff happening, and then we have stuff from the earth happening. So I'm just saying inside and outside, stuff is happening that generates an energy flow that affects us. And it affects us consciously if you're into these kind of chats, and it affects us unconsciously if you're not, and you're still just walking around, getting through your day. So, but it doesn't change. The energy's still there, and how the energy impacts you still occurs whether or not you can put your name on that or not. It still is happening. So how do we work with it? It's one thing to say, oh, well, here's how the energy is, or, oh, I'm an energy sensitive and I'm feeling this. But what's the point if you aren't able to use that information? What's the point if you're not able to say, hey, what does that information show me, right? So what is it showing you? If you're feeling in this kind of state where you're finding like an issue's coming up just like a pimple for you, then that's telling you something, and obviously it's a sign, right? It's a sign saying to you, hey man, that's something that you don't have to deal with. So why is that coming up in you? And that's the point for you. That's what it is for all of us, is that these are signs. And so use these signs to the best of your ability and try to get an understanding of, hey, maybe what is happening with me. A really good book to consider is Your Body Speaks Your Mind, and it's on our reading list. And so you might want to consider looking into that and seeing if that makes sense for you. It's really cool because it tells you, it says, hey, if you're experiencing, a bad example, a knee pain or whatever, it could be because these are the reasons. Like you're dealing with an issue where you don't want to move forward. It's about your mobility, right? It's about you're not progressing through whatever this issue that's holding you back. It gives you little signs. Your body is an antenna. It gives you a little sign. So for right now, what I want you to be thinking about is there's going to be a lot of stimulus. Sometimes it's going to be a lot of negative stimulus that you're witnessing. You may not even be part of it. That's what's happening to a lot of the folks, is that you're not necessarily, a party to it, but you're witnessing it. And it's still, you're like, wow, what's going on here, right? So understand your job is to bring light. Your job is to have some compassion, understanding. You're trying to have some awareness. You're saying, hey, if this stuff happens, how is it affecting me? Because all you can control is you. You can't control if somebody else should have thought of this in a different way or whatever. All you can control is what you are and what you can do. And so focus on that. Focus on your awareness, not theirs or lack of awareness, if that makes sense.